Rage. The experience when my whole body feels like exploding. The experience of profound frustration, impotence, feeling powerless. And somehow the vehicle of rage brings to me the power or the sensation that there's something I can do about about the situation that is putting me into this profound frustration. Rage is when you have become my enemy. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I hear people saying things such as, I can't even stand the way she breathes, or the way he chews food when he's eating. Even those tiny things can provoke rage. So, how can the breath, the sound of the breath of another human being be so threatening to me, to my integrity or my life, that I allow myself to fall into the experience of frustration and rage? This is rage when I project it towards the outside. But it doesn't start there, because as you can see, even the smallest things can push us into that experience. It actually begins and commences within. When I observe myself, when I look at myself, and I feel frustrated or enraged because I am not good enough, I am not tall enough or short enough, I am not intelligent enough. This rage and frustration, we experience it naturally when we are babies. When we are a little baby of 1 year old, from 1 year to 2 years, at that moment we start discovering the limitations that being inside of a body has. I cannot run that fast. When I try to walk, I fall down. When I try to grab something, maybe my hands are too tiny or I cannot reach things that I want. So I start experiencing limitations to what my brain is projecting as a desire or a need. The need to do something or to resolve something, but I'm not able to do that. Or simply the desire of having another candy and not being able to have another candy, the desire of having an ice cream and maybe the ice cream falls down on the floor. So when we as human beings start encountering limitations, we experience this natural frustration. When we are not guided profoundly and deeply with love and care through those frustrations to learn about the natural limitations of life and living, this frustration that it's simply a limit of the material reality turns into rage. And rage involves my will to be angry regarding what I am experiencing. So now it's not only an ice cream that fell into the floor. Now I am angry because I am unable to keep the ice cream on my hand. I feel rage towards me or towards my parent or towards the ice cream itself, the object. And then I start acting out of rage, a tantrum. So I start maybe screaming, or I maybe start kicking the ice cream or stepping over it, completely enraged. Now, we've all been kids, and probably we've all seen kids in these tantrum states, in the state where apparently the mind locks itself through this frustration into rage. What the child does is to express with the vehicles and the tools that they have what is happening in their feelings, but above all in the physical sensations. Each one of these states of consciousness creates physical sensations. So there is tightness, there is heat, there is a lot of trapped power within the state of rage that provokes someone to be very loud with their voice or very expressive throughout their bodily movements. When our mind learns to lock itself here, it generates a cascade of conflictive resolutions of the rage, particularly when, for example, we encounter the situation and our parents immediately resolve the situation by buying another ice cream or by giving us another toy or by pleasing and in a way bending their arms at my rage. In that moment, I learned that rage has power, the power to command. That rage is a vehicle to break limits, to get whatever I want. And those neuronal connections keep reinforcing themselves throughout life. And I will not mature and pass the stage of this childhood of learning about frustration and limitations. And there are different um, uh, psychiatric ailments that are described as this state where the person cannot handle or manage frustration. And in orthodox psychiatry, a lot of these labels of psychiatric ailments are considered illnesses. And I want to open the door in here to understand another layer of this. In my opinion, they are not necessarily illnesses. They're simply a 2-year-old child that did not learn lovingly to deal with frustration. And therefore, I have not been able to create the neuronal pathways to create resolution. A lot of us, because of our upbringing, haven't been able to mature wisely frustration and rage. And when we harness rage, when we cultivate rage, we do start a pathway of deep illnesses in our body, physically, emotionally, and mentally. We become the source of conflict. We've become the source of codependent relationships that bring out and perpetuate rage within and without.